Hello, it's Zach from Loquitur Gaming, and I'm here again to do my kind of monthly vlog where I talk about some things that have kind of crossed my mind the last month inside the board game hobby and with the channel here, creating content and things that just like I hear on podcasts that might spark some things for me to talk about, and some things that I think could be some actual good discussion topics. It'd be great if we could get a discussion going in the comments on this particular video here on the channel. So not to belabor it too much, I'll get right into it. The things I'm going to talk about this time are something that I'm kind of titling 100% correct versus 100% fun. And then I'm going to talk about returning to game systems that you love. And then I want to talk about reviews, previews, and unboxing videos. So the first topic, and I think this would be another one that I'd like to see some input from other people just to know what your feeling on it is. But like I said, I've titled this 100% correct versus 100% fun. So I think I talked about it in the first video where, I started this little hashtag thing, just, rules are hard, hashtag rules are hard. And I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but I was listening to someone talk about people who are big rules lawyers or who have to get a system right or who get upset when someone doesn't have the system exactly correct. So I started thinking about it, for me, not that I'm okay with like completely blowing a whole bunch of rules and just playing a game completely wrong. I think my threshold is probably about 95% correct, as long as you get most of the rules correct, but you have fun playing the game, I think that's okay to me. But like I said, it wouldn't be fun to me if I just, didn't learn the rules at all and just made up something with all the components that were in the box. That wouldn't be fun. I'd like to try to have as close to the proper experience that the game designers and developers intended. But if I make like a couple small mistakes, I'm not going to look back at that game session or that play session of that game or even that campaign and say, wow, that no longer seems like it was fun to me. It doesn't change my perception of how much fun I had when I was actually playing the game. Now that could change if I had something where I made like this huge mistake and it totally hosed like 50% of the rules or 50% of the game. That might change it. So I'm kind of curious on what people's thoughts on this are, where you kind of lie. If you've ever thought about a threshold number in correctness, I don't know how you could ever even do like a study on what percentage of rules throughout the entire game you got correct because so many things intertwine with each other. I'm just kind of curious on where people kind of lie on that spectrum of getting something or getting a game exactly perfectly correct and how that impacts the fun that you have when playing the game. So the second thing I wanted to talk about, and this was something that's kind of come up over the last month, and I've titled this Returning to Systems That You Love. And what made me start thinking about this, and love might be a strong word, but usually when you're titling something, you want to title it, maybe a little overboard. But I started playing Arkham Horror, the card game, the LCG by Fantasy Flight, again over the past month. And I hadn't played it for a really long time, and I hadn't dove into it even too deep when I had first started to play it, just because of time. But when I had first started to play it, when it first came out, I've had the game since it first came out, and actually because of probably my acquisition and completeness disorder, I've been collecting the game the whole time. And even though I couldn't very often get it to the table in the past, but I really enjoyed the game when I first played it, when it first came out. And returning to it over the course of the last month and recording some videos and putting it up on the channel has really shown me why I liked the game so much then, and I like the game now, or love the game now. I just think that system, even though it's pretty brutal and pretty harsh, it is a great storytelling card game. And I think the LCG, the collectible format for that co-op game, works pretty well. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it's a system that I really liked or loved when it first came out, and returning to it has kind of sparked some of that that feeling for the game as well. So I'm kind of curious if there's any game systems that anybody else has, put on the shelf for a while. Another one actually was Seventh Continent. Seventh Continent I played when it first came out from the Kickstarter, because I have the Kickstarter version from the original one, and then I have the expansion. Seventh Continent's another one I put up on the channel in the last month that kind of sparked this feeling in me also. Like I really liked this game. When it first came out, when I first played it, it was on the shelf for probably a year and a half since the last time I played it. Started playing it all over again. I'd forgotten almost everything about the island. And it's just a fun and good system. Again, it's not a perfect game by any means, but if you enjoy it, and I enjoy that, it's fun to get it back to the table. Now, something like that, I could see how maybe it could overstay its welcome if you just played it too much. You would know almost everything about the island and all the secrets and everything. But I hadn't played it out, put it on the shelf, and came back to it. So another system that I really liked when it first came out, and have really enjoyed revisiting it over the course of last month. So like I started to say, are there any systems or any games that you've done that with? Anything that you've played a lot, or maybe even just a little when it first came out, and thought, wow, this is a really great game, but just time, real life, work, family got in the way. You had to shelve it for a while, year or so or more, and came back to it and like, man, I know why I love this game. It's just a good game. So I'm kind of curious if there's any games like that you guys have out there that you like. And the last one was reviews, previews, and unboxing videos. So this is kind of a broader topic, but what made me think about this over the course of the last month is there were some podcasts and some things that were out about some reviews of a specific game that came out that really kind of was polarizing in the community, where some people thought the game was okay for the game that it was, and other people thought that those people who were reviewing the game were either not good at playing games or didn't know what a good game was, because their opinion of that game was that they liked it because they thought it was such a bad game. So I started thinking about like review videos and preview videos and even unboxing videos. And what kind of videos do I go to when I'm looking at a game? Do I even actually seek out reviews? Do I seek out previews? Or do I watch other people do unboxings? And admittedly, I did a couple of unboxings at the very beginning on this channel. It kind of helped to get some of the equipment dialed in. Like I wanted to do some test recording, some test live streaming with the equipment, see what the lighting was like. And I had some new games, so I just did some unboxings. I don't think I'm going to do them too much, even if at all, in the future. We'll see. I'll probably end up eating my words if I get something like, hey, I want to record an unboxing of this. Because I don't know how much I even personally get out of watching someone just open a game. Or even, for that matter, when I started thinking about it, listening to reviews or watching previews of a game. What I like to watch is people play the game. I do watch and listen to some reviews as long as they're short, but the kind of reviews that I don't find that I really go back to are ones that kind of show all the components without talking too much about the gameplay, and then talk about if they liked or didn't like the game. I like to watch people actually play the game to see if I'm going to like it. So those are the kind of videos that I seek out when I'm looking for information on a game, on if I want to try to play it or not. And I also was thinking about this topic because I thought about filming some reviews or some of my thoughts after playing a game, which I don't mind those. If I can see somebody play a game and then there's a video, or at the end of them playing the game, they talk about what they liked, what they didn't like, because then you're getting you watch them play it, and then you're getting their like feedback on that play experience after you just watched it. And maybe that's not too much different than just watching the review. I could just be overthinking this or weird on this topic, but that's why I'm kind of curious for people out there. One question I think would be is, what kind of videos do you actually seek out when you're trying to find out information on a game? Do you like to watch review videos? Do you look for the type of like Kickstarter previews or game previews that are out there where they just talk about a game and maybe show its components? Or do you seek out people actually playing the game and try to see what the game experience is like? And also in those videos, what do you like to see in those videos? When you see a review video, let's say, do you like to see people show the components and talk about the gameplay and then talk about their experience? Or would you rather they just got to them talking about their experience? I'm kind of curious on where people lie on this particular topic, what kind of videos you like to see, and what type of content you like to see in those videos when you are searching them out. Okay, those are the 3 topics I want to talk about this month. Just some things that come to mind based on the things that I've been playing this month and stuff that I've been listening to in podcasts and reading in our hobby. We're going into the holiday season here pretty soon, so I'm hoping that I can still have dedicated time to playing stuff. I've got some more videos recorded that I'll be putting up on the channel, so watch for more of some of the same. And I've got some new games hopefully coming in the mail soon that I can get up on the channel in the month of November. So all right, leave comments down below on these discussion topics. I'd really like to hear what you have to say. I hope you're enjoying everything that's going up on the channel, and I will see you in the next one.